Well, an old spot definitely got some new life. Well, welcome to Finding America, and it's really nice to see you here. I have to say it's also extremely nice to be back. After 3 weeks of horrible weather, being stuck on top of the mountain here, and not being able to get out and metal detect and put videos out for you, I was going a little stir crazy. But there was a bright spot among all the dark and gloomy days when a big package arrived and landed on my porch direct from Minelab. And inside was a brand new Manticore and its coils. Well, it was certainly tough having a new machine and not being able to go out and use it. But it definitely gave me plenty of time to pore over the owner's manual quite a few times, and it gave me time to think about where I wanted to take it on its first trip. And then it came to me, the old Pink House. Now this place has produced some amazing finds for Chris and myself, and we've pounded this place for quite a few years with our Equinox 800s. Well, the last time I was at this spot was about a year ago, and I really didn't get that many signals, so I decided if the Manticore can pull a few things from this spot, I was going to be pretty impressed. Well, as it turned out, the Manticore pulled quite a bit from there. And in this episode, I'm going to show you every good recovery that I made and in the order that I recovered it. So, here we go. I hope you enjoy watching the maiden voyage of my Minelab Manticore. Well, this is my first good target with the Manticore. And I've been digging everything because this is the spot that we found a lot of Civil War stuff in this yard. And I'm using the M8 coil because there's tons of iron and a lot of little targets all piled on top of each other here, so you really need to separate. I'm hunting an all-terrain general, and of course I am still getting used to this, but I was getting sort of a mixed signal here. I was getting a smear from the center line downwards at an angle, and then there was a little bit of iron in there, but I think I found what was throwing off the center line. It was this. It's some kind of a lead, I believe it's lead, but what it is I don't know, but it's really cool. So I went ahead and wanted to show you that. I am getting like a 60-63 in there, but I'm not sure if it's going to be anything or not. If it is, I'll be right back. Well, that 60 something signal turned out to be something, and it's right next to this area. Now, I had a video a long time ago where I found a complete Confederate spur right there, so you know I really hit this hard, and to find those two pieces like 3 feet away is pretty surprising to me. But I got to see what this is. I'm hoping Indian or something, or a flat button. I don't know. What the heck is that? Oh, it is a flat button. Holy cow. Very cool. Probably from the Civil War era. Yeah, it's definitely got a back mark on it. Probably old clothing used by the soldiers as they ran out of supplies. This was a pretty late battle here. I think it was 64, 65, somewhere in there. I'll have to double check that, but very cool. Beautiful flat button, 1810 to 1840s, in the same hole with that lead lollipop thing. So I'll get them both cleaned up, get you a better look, but that's awesome. Very, very cool. Well, still getting to know this Manticore, and this one gave me a 68, and it was dead on the center conductive line on the graph, and it had a little bit of a smear So I didn't think it was going to be a coin, but something a little large. It's really cool. This reminds me of the E-Track and CTX with the image that you could use. And this turned out to be a larger item. Look here. It looks like, yep, part to a toy, like the front shovel on a bulldozer or a plow truck. Well, this is very cool. I was just swinging along here. I wanted to hunt this area because I found a lot of toys and some pretty early stuff here. And I got a real sharp blip, up, and I looked down. I could see something sitting on the top of the ground. It must have washed away since we had all these heavy rains and snows. But check this out. I'm gonna get in on here so you can see this. Is that not amazing? Those are the bars to a marksman's badge, U.S. Army. And the one says marksman and the other one says carbine. And these are probably going to be sterling silver. I just had to show them to you before I plucked them out of the ground. Let me see if I can get in on this again. Is that not awesome? That's so cool. So here we go. They look like they're still connected. And what's really cool, yeah, look at that. Sterling silver. Marksman and carbine. Now what's really cool is the homeowner, she'd been digging in her garden and I believe she found the medal with the wreath and the cross on it. And I told her, I said, well, there probably were some bars that were connected to it, and maybe we'll get lucky one day and find them. And 2 years later, what do you know? So I'm pretty sure she still has that. If she does, I'm going to give these to her, and it'll be all complete again. He was at least a marksman and the carbine rifle. There could have been others here too. They had grenade and bazooka and all kinds of stuff. So, I love finding those too. Well, this is a pretty nice little get right here. It was giving me a 16, nice solid 16, but it was in the middle of a bunch of iron and nails. And I dug down, it was only a few inches down. Of course, I had the arrested side, but check it out. It's a very early duck head button. This is a variety that has the duck head and says O'Brien Brothers. Hopefully it's coming through. The sun is kind of glaring right now, but very cool, nice old button, 30s, 40s, could be even a little earlier, but definitely happy to have that one. And hey, it's like my third good target. Now this area that I've really pounded with the 800 back in the day. Well, what do you know? I got another one. I just dug up that early O'Brien Brothers duckhead button right there, and then I swung over here, got a 14-15. This one had been giving me a 16. This one was laying flat, facing up. This one, bit of an angle, I think. And but yeah, that's two early O'Briens. So definitely happy to have that. Well, I was getting a beautiful signal right here, real tight, real small, but right around a 68 to 71, and give me a beautiful round image on the screen. And so I thought, man, all right, this is probably a coin, but it wasn't a coin, but it was something nice and round. So let me show you this. This is pretty cool. Very old junior beta, probably a junior beta club. Probably a high school pin, but I believe this was probably a stick pin. And I don't know, if I had to guess, I would say 1950s, somewhere around there, but that's a cool little find. Well, mine has something kind of cool right here. It's giving me like a 48 one way and a 60 the other. That's just a nice tone, and it seemed to be a pretty big piece, and I popped the plug and I saw this, and I don't know. I just figured I'd turn the camera on. I don't know if it's like a big writing pen or I have no idea, so. Oh, check. Oh, no, it's not a writing pen. That is a toy airplane, minus the wings. Still get the wheels on it. Check that out. Isn't that cool? Don't find those every day. Very, very cool. Yeah, I will definitely take that. I thought it was going to be some big writing pen or something, but nope, it's a big jumbo jet. I want to tell you, this Manticore is pretty impressive. I was getting like a 48 to 52, and I noticed that the signal started in the middle of the center conductive line, and then it sort of smeared to the left, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Let's see what this is going to be. Well, I already pulled it out, but I stuck it right back in once I saw what it was, because I wanted to show it to you, because it's amazing, because I could actually see the shape of the thing that I was digging up. Because check this out. Look at that. That's a lock blade knife in the open position. So it started here at the conductive line because of the brass on the end here. And then it smeared towards the iron lower levels to the left. That's pretty awesome. That is wow. I mean, that's pretty cool. Well, this one was giving me a 5960, and it was also giving me sort of a curved diagonal reading on the image screen on the across the conductive line. And sure enough, it was another curved piece. And I pulled it out. It was a brass piece. It's pretty old, but it's actually the hinge to a toilet seat lid. Find those every so often, but very cool. It's definitely an older one. It's got a lot of patina on it. So, yeah, that was just pretty neat to see on the screen. Well, once again, I could see the shape of what I was digging. It was basically a vertical signal right across the center line. And check it out. Here it is in the plug, a vertical signal. Another pocket knife. Is that not crazy? Oh, this one's cool. Check out these handles. Look at that. Oh, that is really cool. Ah, that is really neat. Wow, I can't wait to get that one cleaned up. That is a wild pocket knife. But very cool, and yeah, I'm having a whole lot of fun with this new machine. And I tell you, I love the 900, and I love this one too. Wow, this is a lot of fun. Well, I got my first good coin with the Manticore. Now, it's not my first coin. My first coin was a memorial penny. But this one was giving me a 25 to 28 signal. And it was kind of smearing down into an area that is discriminated out in the all-terrain general program. But when I switched it over to all metal, it was just banging 25-25. So, you know, I usually hunt an all metal all the time anyway, but I was sort of switching back and forth, checking with signals, and that's a good probably a pretty good tip with this is to keep it in all metal, and because there were a couple of roofing nails in this one that dragged it down and almost into the area where it would have been discriminated out. So anyway, what I got with the 25 about 6-7 inches down was a buffalo nickel. It's been a little while since I had one. There you go, you can see the buffalo, and there's the Indian chief. Don't know if I'll get a date off of it. Looks like I might. So very happy with that. Yeah, it just banged on that thing. So there was no doubt I had something nice, and it was giving me a nice round signature on the screen too, so I knew there's a good chance it might be a coin, and I think I'm going to get a date off this one. Let me get it cleaned up and break out my magnifying glass, see what it is. Well, this one was giving me a high 60s, low 70s, about 6-7 inches down. Got a nice green weedy. That was going to be a 1941 Philadelphia mint. Definitely happy to have that, and yeah, we'll see what else is out here. Well, this is might be something interesting in this hole. It was giving me a 59, and I just got done clearing out a bunch of nails. 59 was still there, so I gave it another pop, and I think, I don't know, I've got something oval. I don't think it's a spoon bowl. I think it might be a brooch. Oh, it's a, wow, check it out. It's a little sash buckle. Very cool. Nice early piece. Not much detail to it, but yeah, there might be once I get it cleaned up. But that is a pretty awesome find. Definitely happy with that. So, very cool. Pretty old sash buckle, turn of the century. Oh, I tell you, I am getting really impressed with this machine. It's a lot of fun to use. Got a 53 right here, and it gave me sort of a, it was dead on the center line, the conductive target line, and it was just giving me like a little smear. So I knew it wasn't going to be a coin because it kind of gives you a really definite round shape on that. But I knew it was going to be a little bit long, nice conductive signal. Cut the plug, said it was still in the hole. I dug a bunch out, flopped it onto the drop cloth, and check it out. A slightly long conductive target. Turns out to be a very old key from the looks of it. And that is awesome. Truly. This thing, Chris and I have pounded this place for years. Oh, this one's pretty cool. Atlas keys. I like this. Let's see if I can get you a look at it here. It has Atlas holding the world up, and it says Atlas keys. Very cool. Definitely an older one, maybe 40s, right in there somewhere. Could be older. I've only found, I don't know, I think Chris found one of these. I found an Atlas key before, so I think it's only the second or third one I've ever dug, but really awesome. About 6 inches down, so I will definitely take that. Well, got a 54 to 57 signal right up against this flower bed. It was definitely hanging on the center line, smeared out a longer signal, and I dug down about 5 inches and I pulled this out. Now it does have a US patent number on it, and it's pretty fragile, so had to be careful with it. But on one side of this it says 12 blades. I'm not quite sure what it is, but with the patent number, hopefully I'll be able to figure it out. But it's definitely old, early 1900s 20s, somewhere in there. So, interesting piece, and hopefully I can get it figured out, but definitely an oldie. Well, that M8 is definitely sniffing them out, and I got another nice high tone, and once I got it isolated, it was giving me about a 78, 79, pretty deep, about 8 inches down, and already cleaned it up a little bit. Nice early green weedy. This one's going to be a 37 from the Philadelphia Mint. Wow, it's amazing how much stuff is still on the ground here. Well, this signal really surprised me. I was getting a 98, and it was a nice round indicator on the image tracer. And I'm like, well, what the heck? They said it was deep. It was nearly a foot deep. And it was in between some massive rocks that I had to get out of the way to get it out. But it was down there at the bottom of that hole. And I was shocked when I dug this. Check it out. It's a magazine to some type of rifle. It's plastic inside, but metal on the outside. I have no idea what that went to. But on the bottom it does say OK Industries Incorporated. So I will have to look into that. It definitely has some age to it, and it must have gotten buried pretty deep when they tore the house down on this lot. And the homeowner of the other place owns a couple adjacent lots, so we were hunting over here just as hard because we found great things here too. But that's crazy, and that was really deep. I have to say that's the first one I've ever found. So, very cool. Well, as you can see, the Manticore did pretty darn good out there. And I also can't wait to share with you what the Manticore found on my way home when I decided to stop by the Massive Permission for an hour or two. Not only was I blown away with what I found, I was blown away by where I found it. Now, I also mentioned at the beginning of this video about some of the amazing finds that have been pulled from the old pink house. So stick around to the end. I have a link there to one of the most amazing hunts that we ever had at this location. And I guarantee you the things that we pull from the ground in this one are going to blow you away. I really hope you enjoy watching that one. And remember, it's history that makes a find a treasure. And I can't wait to see you back here next week on Finding America.